Hey. Edro.
Well, you be munyina kwaba eba Afro City extra. And then you say as semu kakra. Normally yana Kwasi Mensah na yana try go as a host, but then as a co-host, no be say e so no mu kakra no so etima kire na adwen. Adwen na pile up sa se man so mo na wan hebe pai say ta. Etimu hu mu akonyo mu a sa na this time ye be ye no. Ye be di na adane. Se be ya adwuma na betimi asom mu yie. Be kire ma adwen kakra na Kwasi so akire na adwen kakra. Chidi so ha na wa kire na adwen kakra. Di sa na MC be ye no. Kwasi mo akwa ba Afro City extra.
Yenu CJ.
19 time video so ne Ghana brabo me se die na ekoso.
O se ni baby edin. Baby edin your mind no I think say MPP and for some time right or more who the day it was system nim. Because of MPP for internal elections in as a matter of fact timem for na nkasa kra hedanya daje ehwe aban enwuma 70 ye. Na nanse so a na nkadwo but as a nansane ne ya na mete say Papa Shi mwasa akoye press conference bi ama emuzo akoye de kakra fa ana masanya ntie so obofo obofo so nempene bi aba
yes
ono angasa dia tumse ase obako onchen ena ne yire angasa siara so aba bonte abeka se ne kunu no se ebia ni wan adwen se obijai obefo ma no se de akoso ase wa polu mama odobro ni dia wudi agro angasa diwide o wana ye wano onde pese ye wana. So far, I think, and in a sense, you mean, card so I started to talk a fine. Doom so, and the minimum say a bar na my, but February, we for about 4 days running there. Maybe in sooner start here, ABB and be a light and so on and they are fine. But it looks as if, say, in a day, one way I'll be many light of bear 4 or 5 times as an adiachi.
Yeah, a day for Munson, so maybe another baby out no, Hunisa, but they come and see I wait there. For almost about 3 weeks, you need stable light. Yeah, press up, and then sometimes it linger for a long time. Until you can't even plan for the day. So, because you can't do press doomswa. That is what he mean by Abiana doomswaba. I think say Abia, Yanchuma Abiana will be region and Tissa. But I had a terrible as we speak now.
Yeah.
Yeah, friend said, Tim legal wife. Are they? Then I so. Nti mu enya obi a so be kan mo speech ya mam. Why?
Me kase meti ase na meboa. O se ho no sa team legal wife for ne we mu de Papa Shi drama. Se me kase Papa Shi drama meti ase na se me ne ya adwen a na me ye kontompo ni. In fact, say few of us are to me criticize openly say the mama akosia say wa in the name of Nikunu Free we free mu ne twen password ni odobro na etwe nyina no ye mu bi entiase a ya na dodo na emma a chance to express ourselves the way they express enka omo akoja mo legal team no na legal status ne de enka ye nyina entiase say when something is legal that is what everybody should defend, not something is illegal so everybody must condemn. But also I no mo say in fact legalities no emura ware mu too much. Oh no, because all kasebi all the legalities are now court to say me pre-waware no. Our if amamre man say na copy court. Obi so gina na mamre so ene de busuan so nim eso kate nipa no ni kuna. Oh kan ye na attention ye kan me na kwesi say. So me I'm not really a fan of even either team say legal na odobo inside. But akoso ade ene de a ma Papa Shi e fa ne din so e de ye ne de me kasa metime wanse a na me boa. And I don't know because ya question say when Papa Shi Nidian no ni twi sem na bro of sem na you perfect. I don't know why with this particular press conference no or train no ema sa
yeah because Kababe Busa say press conference ni tini say me tie from beginning to end me the
two things
the clarity of our press conference
what they really when they follow team league and as a TikTok na say why what down cause the main points are true. First of all omodi in kind say since I call to my kwansa cause say where you know no let that lumber you know should continue as planned by and I say yes as planned by the family no when no so share one time say they will not follow what the nananom and the bushia tena say nanka the first week of December mpo, and I think say utumfo emo epushi no, I think 1 or 2 weeks later amokoye no somewhere 13th of December. Before that 13th of December no, Papa Shi especially and the so-called Team Akosha Sewano had also announced a different date that they will not participate in that December funeral date. And then and my Papa Shi the two somewhere in March 2026. We are in February, 1 month to March. Akosha have display my flag and they visit 2 airports. Akoko some nanano so any we have visitation she came proper to introduce herself to people she may expect in the upcoming planning and I don't think they are joking. Seriously, say bibi betima stop ma I don't maybe abusuan na say obi aseme na hibi pre-court to send
for a year now.
Yeah, for a year no more plan. Okay. So the press conference was first of all to announce the funeral, their proposed funeral arrangement plans, and then for Papa Shi to also say before say you never so obey crusade bako Ghana ha jinaso abompaye ama obapa Akosha Mrs. Akosha Sewa Fosu enenema. So basically these are the two things that more mukotna maybe some member of some and then the
because they say adebi o am say yadwenya maso but my observe all technicalities no Akosha Sewa seem to be falling short on say in the case olusu or court supposedly because of technicalities kwanya esen ko faso the marriage certificate as a foreign document wa nyene sa then me busa obiem say yeti ekrom ha asantemam ne yamambre no when ene yeyi because let's assume class ebusapanyin nya ebusapanyin kwa na yeyi ebusuya larger family ni nyina timi yeyi why Papa Shi announcing a family offense funeral
another funeral
because enka ebube who say people are complaining say the first funeral no oma sebi and befiti the status of which I might tend to agree at some point
to some extent
until say by second one I was say follow protocol. One funeral announcement. The family, immediate family. Kosa Brempoma. How do you call it? Mama China. They are for Sinafosu. You need them to be there. Now, I mean, don't you agree? Say, quiet Papa Shi be announcement. No, be similar to what they did in Kumasi because right now, no, looking at the caliber of people are now more ready at the press conference. It's a acquire comic relief on TikTok, on social media.
No, well, as far as Papa Shi is concerned, since Mamia Samuel drop Papa Shi has always been a comic relief for a lot of people. If you are designing mind, you know that apart from laughing about it, there is nothing to make sense of. You understand? Because question was grano. It was the no nya dia ICC. Sebi ebusuya bi enomode shiato. Years no na yemfa de na ye dadulumbe ye okumasin de na no me Dr. Manebo ama ye okofodua
yes
what I say the CEO Manebo ama years no so we dey see ya uyo atro di fo bi wo ango beka se onyankopon pese mo ni ne etinje nsuo ni mframa eto de onyankopon pese mo enda foforo. What I want to say is that say you na anyefe but we can't blame anybody. And no cry said you are buying unsa woman omo ye bibia plan bia everything was on point cry no nature in his own way destroy it. In fact, that one was even more dangerous because we had the night turning from an everybody at the funeral grounds was drenched in rainwater. You can imagine how cold that would be and how unfair that would be. But I'm told that say we are buying and say Dr. Manebo Amana and Abusian for the cry big because say the way no si didn't huni any we see born in life any or see friend who see it was said among your same crana and the coin of fast call ya years are quite easy there and gives you into each other and can for what to be beside no this controversy around that lumber and the second funeral and listen say that Papa Shi but Papa Shi for Stina there can't one and my conscience say they have always had that intention say they will never be part of anything or Brunei is part of so that I say it omo person omo yomo dia odobro ni element bia into me and so they want to do this but you're saying that some people who are as a media personalities as a TV stars some opinion leaders people are omutumi ye even Afrocity the microphone see from some feedback Kenya. A lot of people had some reservation about the whole year now see and say the nale see expect lumbe ye nyesa na ko mai. But for any other group of people to see say almost ebe share mu date ayese ye ne foforo no de. Well, I think say bushane ni abere say Collins Uzama kwa ono na say why no ho kraje panyi was bushane. So money abere say on mo protected Lumba Estate. Any pakoso ne say bushane hurujina say Lumba this year na. They can come in and say they're more, maybe we cannot do that without recourse to us. And so long as you have not informed us, ABA, henceforth, desist from using the name of our family near the from
well, I think no one can do that at the moment because also a co-wife, as the court pronounces and so a co-wife, and she's entitled to perform that. But sending a can say. A second time should always be better. You find say we penny wrong on organizing the first funeral. Because say you make suggestions you are say on transit in the form of a year, but who transit say what for a match out say funeral was waba. Who can we and be 20 me and baby, but now also about so over transit. And then through that in a year. Which were inform sitting president, which were inform Nanado, which were inform MPP as a whole. You can do all that again. All the music, what I say, sad now. You need the influential people to be on your side. I'm not saying say the people on her side right now they are not influential. No, but they
are not doing that. Say Abia a yena nkoyenti eno mpaso mo be ni ye. Omunkombo no na ye no nya ma sokra no no madinkan aboma ne ahomba say
yes I agree with you on that score but we say on several platforms so papa so yes lumba ye ni o he ye ni sa na ye tie o panyi ko bi o make reference to prominent people la
of course Nanado could have come
but the queen offer so wa sha sense so be worse
now we want to
exactly you got it totally wrong
obi na obeko we say be a team legal social media team no.
So what would be the point?
It's pointless. It has been pointless from the start because listen, baby, you're doing there. Say katani pechi ebusiane no a ye phone him. Sure. And I'm penny for so kaze you be ehun yeda. So I say the be a wodwen say abakra no. Obi so won no enso bi a okohia ya odwen say ama. Na wo dey kan we cry here no fe say anya you cry no. Masa ye tell hu you. You know, I understand it could have been huger and bigger than this. It could have even the whole national something. And I could namu kasa across some watching and a year got the beer that called to me the social media that called to me and TV show they are discussing no be a channel doing. I'm a Nipano class that will film crown focus on the hobby. Ziano, who is the wife, who is not the wife, who is his best friend, who is not his best friend, and I dominate here to the point somewhere. Look, it has been ridiculous from the start. It is going to be ridiculous on the day, and no matter what, even if the outcome happens to be say, what is the point?
Now, do you believe say
I don't expect so because apart from say more approach, Papa she which because the diplomatic doors and no knock on, I could invite or more respectfully. I'm more so and no be so baby no. I was any pan a carino and your Papa she and as a lumber ye na okeke. Society ni so hwe say nti wo sabi wadwene wo fie na wo na wa firi mu e na obusuafo ayi wa wie na wo yire bia asomogya enso ka se chenchenache ono so beye at the national ibi e na afiri manka wo saman kra na se bi wo da wada kem kra no say be viviri be sa te wo kra kan wo nemu it you know like Jesus said what you wouldn't want others to you no don't do unto others me na mafiri mu me de me ni lumba ba sen kam lumba e na metiase anaze kodufo sukura ati asekura na obi a onya vision bi say nema bi say bi sia I'm sure he would have a way of averting it before he passes on because this is not nice for anybody. What I say, the motivation is money, no doubt, and I won't say yeah come for ne kaka ya sebi asante foi before so be do 60 years na year wako ahwa say oh year wako no any wage uchemu mienu a uchemu mienza wage beje kaze mienu
because yeah tifa akukura de hu amani obi kansa bia you have somewhere to go umpe you have to
be invite to brutifo yi omo yi bi omutumi wi omo baby obi oba abasi na se mobisi ono ankasa ne maame te se lumba ba ye mra akoso se wa maame a se wa free mu eni nya no mo aboabo mo maybe this is also one opportunity for her to come on because Saturday say be na panini bi eni wa na so ba be wa mane na be na maame na ne papa ajibi bia bio it is a nikunu a ono we kwa ne be ma obetimi ne ababonte abeka se nikunu to the point say we free mu obenye konye bibia free mu whichever marriage I know woman san obi shalumba bia no we don't know nothing much about it. It in the Evan say nikunu ane lumba. It in the last one idea. Obepe say any nzaka crowd born nampo so muso babe boni bi. Ideally, say the now can sabusu penye with that experience no. Say why you hey and was what na o ko ni akoso akwantam ye fine. Ana omoni abusu ye kan ye. Ni aje one of the residences in Accra. E de amano for now so one fan host to na ye kra na so one fan tenancy enye so na dofo kakra. Enka be fe. It was funny to pass so I'm not sure so a difficult person sir. He would love to be part of it. But already okay and then go for it to describe now. None of them including your cousin. I am friend Papa Shino. Obi I know if you remember him. I saw Kujina TV so press conference.
Yes, I was shocked because I was looking at people over there and say, also will be ye. I can hear you now. Can you be ye now, baby? And I was a busia. Yes. So you busia penny cry. I was a busia. Yes. Because I bring for money for sin and you have seen a graduation bad for money on ocean. Do you that is I'm a track now? Sometimes it's possible because a year being seen a year. Sometimes because of giving you should be able to add that. But there are certain things that I mean busa wide. I think friends, religious extremism is one of the most dangerous things ever to manifest in human being. Always. Don't you see that trait of religious extremism in papacy? That is what makes a lot of things going on. Yeah, it's with the common sense in one. It doesn't fit. And fit good because senior senior but papa say tifie only my mama say we baba be you baba announce ye senior what dream we per say e see e fa no to get it friend say the importance to the society no when you say there are some people you cannot omit them in this press conference at all. But he did. And then now we share coin of us or in the press conference with the kind of simple reading of the newscasters. Oh my, what is going on? Do you believe religious extremism be cacao? Of course, what makes Papa Shi crazy right now is his current religious disposition. And say any even say banana na mo hwapa so say na ho na twetwi na go for them na. You know, it is because of how extreme he went, you know, with so-called authority on the Bible, authority from the Word of God, authority from spiritual realm, to see what he has not seen and come out and make it look as if say he has seen it. Because the grammatic says so much started than maybe say the prophecy is still pending. The prophecy is 2028. Was it the man will be president in January 2029? But the prophecy started from somewhere. Which and they had which man will be president into Japan? Yes, Roger, Prophet Rogers. So answer their faces say the Bernard kind in term. If the Ocean come say, the son said, "They are meaning to say." Say, Baumé is a flag bearer. Yeah, and MVP, yes. So if that could happen, two things: either Baumé resign from being a flag bearer, or something. I don't want to mention. Or can Japan start a party and fight both MPP and NDC and takes it? Yeah. Or that's MPP for so much. I don't think that is an alternative because when I say Baumé conference the Kennedy concessional speech, you know. Yeah. Obitia no Kennedy no votes. So what's a small kind? Okay, they been what as well council. 3 years is what? Long time. Anything can happen. Yeah. So he probably to maybe, but what would be more proper. And no be sa I say o join say o nyame asem gina so nti obetimi aye de wo ye no because the papa she the man is so empowered and encouraged to do what he's doing is because he thinks that he's doing the Lord's work. Or again say as a we no e de nyame pe because onyame mu no aware obi metoso on the Christo ba no sha aware say obema no oba baako nyamienu and look Christo here Christo now no also papa she is our friend no wo Bible mu that is debatable anyway to us. Thank you. Well, but I say before some 1 week nimpo any after 1 week no papa she e de odobroni ejina Kaneshi market Makola market baby o preach so evangelist baby o manto
you know, to the enemy, I get a Akobam for you know, Momentum, County, I didn't megaphone, and a cinema motor. And kitana washe white oh odoboni say obekọ something so
really?
Oh yes, so Jezebel omo ne sa wade omo safety o quotations be okotu HSS obi beto ware so say ware na say nipa no e bonsamba or ya justify say odoboni e bonsamba. No, I mean that cannot be a word of God. No God anywhere and was what you know not in heaven one year what you to sana and go for a papa no or program with them maybe or tell what about what me know what means. But I don't know what is problem night but or maybe I want to know soon what I say. It's crazy. But we have entertained that till now. After you know, a boy and him say, "Sa wo mo mujina mijidie so." A Christopher partner di home for away memory. Okwa my for bi so religious extremism. Some for na etai atwetwum den say me some no kwa de so wa nkata wo nyina oba wa nkata wo nyina me mpia bonten. What is happening in Iran is religious extremism. Iran happened to be one of the first advanced countries, in fact if not the very first advanced civilization in history. Today, and e cause wo nyina no caveman friend saying regulations and modern day Iranian authority because of religious extremism so here we are with Papa Shi thinking say oh yenya mi adwuma wo fra gidi fo say mebo ade akosa say o yare da mpaso ono kwa na ni kuna wo na ni kuna wo kura na wo firi mu kura mo mpa ye ma no ne ma wo mo yem kura na mo nya ma obra no kura mo mpa ye ma mo obi abasiri wa 62 years ago no atumi na nti huri ma me wo shaka so wo sheka bu atumi kaka obetumi atu ade dress yin ya kushi akwa ko mpa ye ma but the madam no na hwade how many people will gather and go with that attitude say ye kwa ko mpa ye ade ama. We are in an era of religious extremism. See a pemredia shisha nyutru mumra o se shisha mra ibetimi contain tede nkofo de nyamesom epeni petro ewo ye maimua.
Well, enough of Papa Shi and then akosa say wa yembra fie na yemedi MPP primary see omoto ye hu komo. For now no jebu aba ma kogu prophecies abonchen. The winning ya winning, the lusu ya lusu. Maybe sa wadwin. Percentage you were Kennedy nyaye. Any day about me nyaye. Any day Brian nyaye. To you, do you ever see say that happening? Say, Brian will make such an impact, and then Kennedy dwindling from the previous 37 to as low as 20s, around 20s.
Yeah, 23 as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
23 point something.
Oh, as far as I'm concerned, nothing really shocks me. They shock me, yeah. How?
We say I have force in any quiet before no be kasa wa ha. To akosi to aso.
How? Especially Ken's camp took every, if you like, let me say, comfortable prediction that people made for them. By for them, I mean for Ken. Making it look as if say, I say, Ubia Jatum say, Kenya na Chrono. And you say, name because in fact, for some of them, especially the communicators there, Omotaba media, ni social media, engage, try to engage the public, knowing where some of them are coming from and how articulate they can be, how analytical they can be, how critically critically critical. Oh, they take certain issues and certain positions on matters. Say they could be swayed so easily by any prospects of Kennedy Japan winning against Bawumia. I didn't see it. I mean, it started from 2023. There was no way Ken was going to beat Bawumia in 2023. And looking at what Bawumia got, 67 against 37, I say, which is about 30 difference, I said to myself, say, Ken, so when you cry now, ni mate, send seniors and the mate, Alan. This is more almost similar because Alan cried over you. Alan was about 40. Now you 40 something, 48, I say.
Yeah.
So 48, 40, nobody got the 50 plus 1. So Alan conceded. Oh, 37 against will be a 67 there. Opa, remember the entire MPP for Ken will still lose against Bawumia. That was my conviction long before 2026 or more primaries or more. So nothing shocks me. What is shocking? Getting to the elections now, Gazano, somewhere last the week of January, no, and that's 2 weeks to the end of January, no, where they were not came for no, and especially sticker, any Jojo Roxin, is it Roxin? Yeah, Roxin, one Rocky B. Or no, yeah, anti-rigging squad, that's then thing, anti-squad, be a non dano. So, more say, party name rigging. I mean, some of them were out there throwing figures around, say, Kena Wene, Obefa Ashanti region, Obefa Buta region, Obefa Central region, Obefa Greater Accra region, Obefa was it Western of Romuntimi, and 4 northern regions on your move from. But some 8 regions be now a year from, BA coming down and they had tipped themselves, they were going to win. And Dr. Stephen Amoa at the point in the campaign now or Masken or declares you ask me or quite course be you ask me in 7 or no count. I think I was 5.
Number 5.
Or no toss of 5 or so. We are seeing will be a worse financial acumen with this kind of expensive education. I wonder how you could use some of these data so casually, making it look as if say it's real when you know down in your heart say it's not real. I never believed they knew of that. Of course, I thought say for the home region being central region there, I don't expect Baumia to go and beat Kenya Point central region, no matter what. Esi hani free me koto kodwi
central region no efutu a surprise one.
It doesn't really? Because osahene o hegemonious because be hegemonious is a kamesi be bia fa party no was ni constituency obia no he's in total control. That's my point. Menye ni gidi ono sebi we meka tese no was ronti no onye o mom kasa bahad no and ohunu said you see ehunu no or say anything can happen. Abey me manafu pa ne ken there and possible say can beat my win, but because of our friendship let me do anything humanly possible on my part to help him win. If I cannot go around the entire country with him because he didn't, my who say follow can campaign and say can was region afenyo or can best no be or afenyo ko bi and I can best no kwa Ashanti region afenyo the 3 baby but me time ko na mu ha dia.
I was standing on where you are no.
Yeah.
Until would you believe and would you say leader minority was not neutral in this election?
No, he wasn't.
But it looks like he claims to be neutral. Based on his speech.
The claim no the neutral and say he didn't come out openly to do any campaign for anybody. Which is also odd because as a leader in the house no there sometimes na yakobo ball or yakobo box no anything sports na somebody ade one for odds when you me just bet no the odds are always there. So they say it no he must more capacity as nobody. If I were to be him as a minority leader of the party that is going for primaries, I will sit in my office or my corner and look through the 5 gentlemen who want to contest and then use my metrics to tip who is the likely to win. No, say me campaign man openly I have to be strategic enough say me head up bobo at some points be am will say say nipa we or any party. He never did that. What I say? And no lay back. Now lay back no just say makama want to. Man makama want to just say me because say you say me yeko me feel ya say no me plan me come to so na what be. You see my point?
Covert operation.
Covert submarine operation. So his is to call all the delegates because on our MP about 12 years running there. On the woman or head them or list of people are or bit my from at any point. Our team so bit my course. I'm not saying I know. I'm thinking. I'm just theorizing. Say he could easily connect with his
obvious.
Base. It's obvious. It showed.
Then justify
600 plus against some
47 or so. Or 48.
It's very much unfair. Then no. BBN what just say afenyon senim. Say koye level pegging be another difference of 100 and 200 krana and go people say well people really because I want to believe say okay let's go to the next election. Surely nobody and those people the money here then say they omo etiase because of afenyon omotuma friends honorable Ken no omo ntoaso mayor omo no can no vote ni bia e ya sema nesi leader ka say wo dey we ni dey ono dey ka no nko a nka yin asen aka say futu ema honorable Ken ene yi ama no but said omunya ka say that race or that contest is behind everybody. The contest ahead, no, it's not about any single individual. It's about the collective interest of the party. He was not neutral, but he played his cards well. Or no, and Abena Osasari came out to tell people. In fact, he was speaking to our own Paul Adumochiri. I said, Paul, make consistency from penny for the maintenance. I say, honorable, you say, Uni when you say, Waha now. But yeah, Rema, obey Yampino. Young party from penny for a war, I don't know. I've forgotten the constituency. Ye dear, ye pek Japan. It is a bepase obekabi mpoa, ye bepese obekabi amaka in Japan. If there's a condition to that, if you want to maintain your seat, that woman is less than 50 years, young woman. How does it? Well, you're right, you're now, and then you're about to be. I'm sure she has kids. I can't go make school, papa. Obey, Baumia, when you're all right. No one will always see the seat now as MP.
Politicians were means of saying things.
Yeah.
Only so about contesting for a certain position.
Yeah.
Was me heard the way you pushing me some membrano.
Yeah.
What to me to have be a cofa forms near fairly near the Abreno. Do you believe say the constituents really said what I because looking at looks like say all the deputies of a previous finance ministers was on Ken side. Do you believe say was calculative attempt and now say it was truly say the constituents warned him say if you don't come to this side you rather vote against? Do you believe that?
I cannot disbelieve that.
Okay.
She said it herself and I was watching it. I think there's some element of truth in there because the Tessie. I don't want to mention some other constituencies, but let me use this and now check a cry. Alan time on Alan also no. People in my constituency or to breathe. For whatever reason, the larger delegates were in favor of Akufo-Addo. The MP was for Alan. In fact, because of Alan, he became a casualty in his own party and government. When the party was in government, he was sidelined. In fact, these are his narratives. I don't believe the Okaninya because my games on one name competent. But no, Takase Ukudi Alan. Look, you see what he did. Nanababa Abayene campaign, any or minus year. Ocheno ho now no so afre delegates or no to me afre wo as many as he can. No so catch him so no there. Oh Alan. You get it? At a point it became a problem because to some extent not larger constituencies no you call two primaries now. Ono a omo dwen say wonye anana pa no so no mo say omo confirm man because delegates nisha larger body no so. Most of the delegates were on the side all right, but the larger political MPP in order to be it's like kwabrea otumi pulu 90 plus no. So your situations be where a bit dice kakra bokono na o party chairman, constituency secretary, all the constituency executives and no more can be in your mo say or more nipa we afa or most na most cases or muji MP awa no campaign term year ma because on doing nyina right na oba mama so me so wachesa it be the first 4 years kwa name when
no this is a second yeah
hey masa second we no resist so what do system from paragraph we be observation by no we are or this or leverage so we kura na or somewhere to go e bia go bit me akasem farmers am kono me as a person there me penny passment is no na meko but I think say leaders must listen sometimes because we internal approach abe when the campaigns were here so she was never disrespectful abia say wa sorry ankasa te say na atoshi wa ankasa te say stika one can say some of the other former deputy ministers.
Do you believe Stika was being disrespectful?
Of course, right?
Really?
Yeah, he disrespected Baumia on several platforms. That jab about he was tipped to be the finance minister, but somebody had to call and say and then in my mind, I don't think it happened. And even if it happened, the way he put it is disrespectful. Because I'm not sure say Baumia and I say anybody would just say, oh, you know, credentials matter, especially in the world of finance. It
turns out Krampus and Nippon was way ahead of
Masa.
Way.
That's why I say I don't believe it.
Well, I think say let me add this question about Ken name free Ken candidate Baumia because for now no than the Brugua Paswa you have to be talking about him all this while. American president or more this popular phrase the buck stops with me.
Yeah.
Ken Akasa, I watched his interview with KSM.
Yeah. And I'm saying old video and I current, sir.
Well, I don't know. I don't know, but looks like say it's
I said 2023 after 2023 no lose.
Oh, I see. Then it plays a current narrative.
Yeah.
Because it looks like say he's not admitting his mistakes.
Yeah.
Rather no, he's rather sharing the blame. And also or blaming others. Friendship, all that. Because as a leader,
yeah,
Oko Akensi na Lucia, you translate and then you assess what went wrong. Like I'm saying, the back stops with me.
Yeah.
Now he's rather antagonizing people. Say, oh yeah, madam, now by me ho. They want to talk to me. I'll give it to you because one support me. Do you believe, say, in politics, it always has to be friendship? Say, what's the way, madam, for anti? Also, me support you. And now say, it must be on merit. Say, you deserve this position, and I believe you can run this position fair and square.
Well, you know, say definitely I will agree with the latter. But I say friendship, no. A misconception. Unim, I say, be a share nothing that Santini now join House of Book. I think say one of the classiest bush talks I could ever hear. And Santini now here in this me who's a sebi in Yansenim in Kasasa. Because NDC any House of Folk and I say I'm gonna now join Kotoko. And say Yansenim. Look, we entertain certain things around Ayana and Crawford. There's some element of truth, but really I don't see it that way. And what do you expect? Let Ken be Ken. No, this is Ken. This is always Ken. What do you say? Omwa, ono do you say bia? Or some komuba buana, or mama buano no. Ana womwa mo ejina ba omiachi ekeka wonzembia or do you say omadi na tem no. Ye ba binyane ama kind because sorry. Or their chairman as or the Debbie. He may not do anything visibly to harm them, of course, or not the Anna and no rhetoric. But he can't just easily forget and as pretend to make look as if say BBNC. Definitely he's going to harbor some hard feelings. And I didn't say Chesa, said DBS 1 year crana, Abia Oya no Sana, we more cry and can remember well 1 year there. I think say he can talk. I didn't see here now to cry my. It you know the pain is still there, and if he's pained by it, it is genuine because it's Kwame can say what afraid enye ni din keke no de buy enye contest keke no call ye. He put in a lot of resources, monetary wise, material wise, time wise, energy wise, and all along, almost everybody around him made him feel say enya obewene. Eti say ohwe ni boso onyaye. Now this is a prophet no one watch no. As some Kenya prophet in the number one. Because our prophet says so freaking cry or bit my fa but only nkomo say ye ba beto no to me be no say now you miramate and that say the Lord no I just hear me. Say praise the Lord because say praise. Even now praise the Lord. And I understand him on that. So I'm not surprised. When I was watching the video, I mean I didn't expect Ken to say so me Jerry bia manaka obi wa to Dabi. We offense twice, once bitten, twice shy. This is 2 times bitten. This is technically quite 3 times because last election I'm going 2 times. So he can bear the grudge with anybody that he wants. He can make it look as if say, but not. I don't expect anybody to also take it personal. Say KTM Mondo, say Atachio, say whoever campaigned against Kennedy Japan and as or can be or campaign training man Kennedy Japan then no any quasi ni pano join say what ye Kennedy Japan boni be a change na cho kopa na cho or koesa na be flare drama no obi anya life man say yeah now on the on tazo say wa be ba nchen bia no on few na me akra no masa yes we ni wa na wo be ko nchen a hwe wo mo mudi nka ko nchen gonya amoa ne they no expecting from momo emra no any campaign or mama any some ka form ya any other no we nyina now say ho na obekwa kwaje omo because me hu mo bia Kennedy Japan betima boa ba omi to me mo and I say others need to me mo. So if it is about government party and I say buying connections been a wopa, I'm sure there are more than enough people in the NPP who can be of help to many of us, and knowing Ken said almost see a generous no. I'm sure so also the core base no more loyal to him so he will never forget them. He will find a way of compensating them in one way or the other. But as for more no I will matter so no to do one so there. Okay, we now lose you no go for Peter.
Do you believe say generosity no? I also say a conditional generosity and I say it should be generous because you are just generous.
Oh, that is his person. Me, I cannot dictate to people how they should use their own resources. What I say. And then they one name so or the bema without conditions or no or the bema would not with conditions or no me what nice or you know say do I need it we have friends say or be saying no what I say so but because
there's this belief say form of Trojan horse possible say reckon say okay say metrim no want to do you believe say he has learned his lessons say MPP will punish you if say why we were say you head the party.
Yeah.
Do you believe he has learned that lesson? Say the party he did will double punish him if indeed he becomes a Trojan horse.
He can't become anything again. What I say, it's not in his best interest to do that. And as a matter of fact, look at sometimes say I always say metro man to me kwaye bonibi. Yachina I bet you know but I want to know yeah. Well, Boko Boys no migraine is in the ground. Me grana me so but when I'm say bonina wedding into no. And my one day to me take that. We metro pass every boss.
Because Otaka Casabize, old man say, Bonibo Tuma. No, yes, article. We just say, we don't even here. No, yes, I join you, auntie.
So, really, what possibly can he do? Say now, maybe I met you here party, and I met you bro party or no cabrompo, and I met him at it, you know. I don't think say Ken has any serious credentials to stand on and TT anybody in the party. Apart from Baumia, how no better in the bill. And now, what it is Baumia says, yeah, Baumia and your debut. You are not in contest with him again. And Baumia so a person now. On Yahoo already, it didn't know a better team posted Baumia Quacoto, Nisaka token and Amanaquacano. So that's it. So Baumia Pahua, when you part the one people, I was a can bet no answer. No. The answer, yeah, Kakrea party Nankasachanian. It should be humbling enough for him to, you know, go deep into introspection and wait for the appropriate time. I think, say, looking at the bigger party and the way they want to position themselves for the next election, they are not going to walk over him. They are not going to use him as a doormat. But I also just say, if nobody at all, Abronya alone will silence him again.
Shiri, Yawakwaba. Well, discussing matters arising aftermath of MPP primary. You reckon his reaction, his talking. Do you believe that he has learned his lesson? Do you believe, say, what Jenny Funsuatum say, the back stops with him, and that whatever happens, he got it wrong, and then everything has to do with him, but the people around him? Do you believe, say, at the end of the primaries now, Lucy, and we're taking a loss, Nuku, and willing to progress?
Well, nature and for MPP after the election, I'm seeing certain radicalism. Their tone has suddenly changed. The way they attack issues, you know, it's like they see 1998, you know, and even 2016, you know, similar thing. I shall say, this is the second time that Honorable Ken Ohene Ejapon has lost this presidential primaries.
Is it the second? It's about the fourth time.
This is the second time. So we have
2023, I'm going 2 times as a 3 times.
I'm not going to say for 2 electoral college, but the main
something else is on it.
The main reason, you know, this is the second time we lose.
Okay.
On the face, you know, they were just to say or consider defeat. He's calling for unity, but the people around him, no, can trigger a lot of things. A bit is saying, once now Mokaka say no Ken, no vote, no Ken, no vote. Even though time I try when we are in feel Moka say more Monka, no Ken, no vote, you know. Sa uncle fono I see Omajuni Pise, a party in a bed, the Bobona bro. Such people can also influence Kennedy Japan to take another decision. So right now, the party cannot do without him. They will need him. But in as much they will need him, you know, you also need to speak to his people. Say, any pardon, any required, educate to me.
Yeah.
Internally, I can differences. I can do actually, but now we need to come together as one and fight for the one cause. That's what capture political power. I believe that all Hinyami and born the party na Brobio. Now,
yes, I would say about bro, you know, the first 2024.
All trances,
2023-24.
The all trances, no. Also, I say, Obetina party, Nameko. Men could name made them, met in my heading at 18. Ebi at 18, onion open about on common heading, and maybe be a the guitar. Or on common in go for heading. Ebi secretly. I see you do a chia kebi mouse and heading, in kebi mouth. And looking at what Brian the champion has done. See, now people see him as a future. The chances for him to intimidate people in the party, you know, any hope you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because now they're very, very difficult. Because they saw you as a second force, but now you don't look like a second force to them anymore. They see you as somebody where you are done with your service. They also have a party in the riding. It's time to sit back. Now why do obey the Abua party? Now, Yaku and Nusuno also Obeka the 2024 election.
Yeah.
Ni demeanor, ni tone, ni approach towards you know. Because what Kika is in Simbino, also Ojina Simpius no Kasa. As in
2024. 2024. No, for Simpy Papa no Timina.
Oh, there be say Oshiama.
He wasn't playing any active role.
Obedi pa Olechi no bedi achiri. Omoba so am magazine no kasa. I say it's about me about power. Obe say nyomebu on where dey.
Obe so am. Obe twice. It doesn't match.
But 2024 you see no upon the okeka keka any na echi no. So na me na using to ko jina simpi so ade na o kache o kasa chairman for na man for no mu on. How do they feel? Because you see the same thing na latter part of the prime minister no say about me a liar. You see the only thing that Baumia is say he has to approach Ken.
Yeah.
And speak with Ken.
Baumia approach Ken.
Yeah, Baumia must approach Ken.
For real?
Yes. You will need him. You will need this number.
Chidi, nobody saying they don't politics is a game of numbers.
Yes.
But why must Baumia approach Ken?
That's why
because share metatium. You can say 2023, same thing happened. Baumia had to approach Ken.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you know, look at what happened.
He disrespected him more.
The disrespect was even greater. What I say. And I believe, sir, for things to work. You see, in terms of age, we have age respect. And then we have your boss.
So 5 years older than me.
What I mean, kind of sir.
Yeah.
Say more when you face life, your age respect, and then your position status. Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Status respect.
Yeah.
Okay. You can be 90 years, 80 years. If say a boss, penny, chenwa.
We am background now.
You have to respect your boss.
Of course.
If you call boss of institutions, look at the security people over there. They are mostly retirees, don't wear security so. But you see a young girls as 24, 28, 30 maximum being the boss.
Second
you respect them as the boss over there.
Yeah.
And do you believe, say, Ken has to be approached by Baumia?
Yes.
Is that the right way to go?
Yes.
I don't think so. For I believe, say, in this instance, no, Ken there was so in the BBI, the ego, the bitterness, because I believe, say, now he has admitted he's bitter because he believes what Boni Pebi do Marco position be and they did not reciprocate. Now he has admitted, say yes, indeed he's bitter. So he has to heal. After healing, because right now, no, Baumia Kwa, the man it's the process of healing. So he has to admit because we experienced seasoned politician, like he was saying, will lose a lot of and then won a lot. But there are some losses it's difficult to heal from. Unless you are ready to heal. And I believe he has to heal and then give room for and then approach Baumia and say, we went for this election. I believe I went overboard. Because mind you, Baumia can't send be
Never.
all this
Never, not once.
So what I say, to the extent say, Oma Baumia Luzuni cool, he has to frown just to so be so also the only time I hear who say Baumia frowning his face ever was the signing of the peace pact. Ever since I who Baumia in it won't be paid. You had to push him to that extent. Say Baumia or even I felt say frown none frown cry. He was suffering because that is not his character.
Yeah.
But he has to keep in character in that frowning. Say we are born for who say indeed on so tesu kokwa dey.
Yeah.
Okay? And do you believe say Baumia right now he is the flag bearer elect. So he has to approach Ken. Do you believe that's the order that is supposed to be?
We are from what? Let's say be on to me being so
no, I don't think it's about the form. Baumia will not hold a grudge. Baumia we know will never hold a grudge against Kennedy.
No,
but I'm talking about say approaching. Also Kennedy admitted within him say politics is a game. No heal. When he's healed, then he will know say I have to approach Baumia. No matter the age difference, no matter the sika.
I get you. But the reason I'm say or approaching is say, you see the kind of people need the Kennedy, you know. So I say it will take time for him to heal. No? If Baumia approaches him and speak with Ken right now, Ken can fast track a lot of things.
Like
say convincing his people. Say me cry na me phone nipa no. Wananti aba mo na mabekasa. Aka say ni na chem. Eti no me fe bibia eden entum chen. Maka dwi nti ame eden. Me di ya o makuma mu nti ame de kan sem eden. E chem me kwa na ka so eden. Okomo say wana mo bu ma utu a. E ma nipa no cry sa respect mo.
Yeah, the year na anya we ya inja o
may I come in?
Yeah, go see.
I am tempted to agree with Chidi small, but I largely agree with you. Last bear buye, yet the yo na anya we ya inja o fire. You no one kasa otima.
You were you born.
There was no fracas or ruckus or any tension in the primaries to the point say I was a Makan Katan and Nikando Kakafa about me. Especially because he was rather lying.
Because I think said there was a video.
Yeah.
Or about me or truthful. I think said that people didn't even take note of that.
Yeah.
And then we all got it wrong. Said the last video in Mumna.
No,
yes. The one he was saying said, say because of our that video or catch about me or truthful more than I counted more than
I don't know about you, Chidi. Maybe a agency, but forgive me for using that. It's not.
And
fair.
then to tell Obisa or your truthful, the worst of insults. Look, say catch us a Chidi we are truthful. Words and your palatable.
Abrofui, young Quabuche by her behavior na the area. So any bruni by Trempna na Unyejuma, genuinely a Jumaniwa. They don't really care. So long as or no yeah. Over to me, no, it's a saying permanent. Any I was temporary situation. Only bruni by P. Monwaria, Mawarimpa. Like I said, you are be to Yanadi. It in to say a high with Valentine, or pay a new Mpabuane, bag, Sika, a Comau girl, Abrawunya, when I call a condom, singlets, and a boxes. But so what control Mabruni ba? They wouldn't hesitate even killing you. I think they can tolerate almost everything except lying. So lying. It is so obi in politics and the toast say oh you're truthful. The person must really have a solid backing. So the obey is generated. What is it? And I no say no, I don't blame Ken too much. I blame the entire PP machinery because for a long time, my NDC for Moody, my target about me as a liar, man, for long. And now Bonya notice him and say Crabbe Kevin Taylor had used that for years.
And then, I think say Abamin Chippy we must apologize to Abronya. Because Abronya started in a podcast. A lot of people were against Abronya.
No, I wasn't.
A lot of people.
I wasn't.
Saying say or no crown a good Japan campaign. No, I'm not speaking as you being against
very well,
but being in the space of the media, you know, most people are saying say Abronya should close down his.
I don't know came for now.
Right.
What is here? na ke for sabonya ma eka ke both
exactly
as in the unya no say kente 10% about from 10 more than 10%. I can give solid 10% to Abonya alone. What he was doing was not palatable, but compared to what Kennedy Abon was doing, he was deserving. What I say, he had to do that. And now let me come back to it. For what did matem? I can try to so, and not privately, and you say be obi cry the TV catch me. O share that the camera to so, any TV, a record a post to. And no, okoko to be intent. Ehwe adwen no say obi a obi no coin e na opra wo nipa no bia na menim because ekra no kita ne se kan dada e na ntokwamu na ase ne se kan no twere wo na ho a ana wo nsa ho a e wo Bantima High Street.
Even in football cry there was some tackle on my player who called do you may miss the player.
But you say the intent.
If we can give you a try because of the intent or the buy.
On can say 90 minutes in the same park in Jende Bay. The way they were some see Bantima and I do bear 9 and yapata and what coffee fear will walk akoda madiache what for Blantine ababe yini panonso ne kokromotoni nyina everywhere over them.
Yes, that is premeditated.
Thank you. Because your intention is just too bad. What does it say? Yeah, can yeah, but also you be no, and I'm say yatia headlines aba, but your headline treachery exactly what I'm going to say. It will be Maccabian one off, and no Saturday. The host or producer can urge you and prompt you say Lily Mohammed no from where later she had to come and apologize. So you can easily come and apologize because you say that you were carried away. But for you to write something, premeditate them, go to your studio, put them on a video document, and then post them on a political campaign trail. Knowing full well the repercussions, whether true or untrue. If it is true, it's so damn bad. If it is not true, come on, man. Now, why? If say you refer the TD can require an advice here, CJ, our advice, Baumia must not go in person. After all, he's not alone in the camp. There are a lot of other respectable gentlemen around him who can approach Ken, if for nothing at all, for the so-called numbers that he has. I don't believe in those numbers. Because all Nija party no conform say obechem mienu or call the entire country to 2 minutes to be the president no bozo nya out of 33 million was 3,000 Alanche Martino.
You didn't get 3,000, it was around 300,000.
300,000
or check
30,000 and 300,000 300,000 when the kotuma Alanche Martino could do 300,000 so numbers ABR for the numbers sake other the honorable Fedowari is there. Now that he's a flag bearer of the party, there's nothing like camp. What do I say? Other senior members of the party, National Executive Council, any other no more there. That was out there. Mom got to a basis of the Nikan and Ninja. All other 4. If at all other 3, Abanum, Aquachia, Papaya Abonabaso, Aman, congratulations. And no, a minority might come from minority. Omoko at least was
31,000.
31,000.
Yeah.
Fine. And omo omoko free afenyo last minute no meeting bi as parliament meeting and so excuse no. Omo nyina ko bi ken entumi nkoi. O ka se di ntia. Enye tumi no ntumi nko. Ni wo ka ho. Because so free say dey wo si e share da horo nipa no. E share da di na tam na. Wo sa akọ santimonious
he
feels like
I was saying, I think say he just needs time to heal.
Fine.
But I believe say it will heal faster.
Fine.
Because time and tide
he's not going to heal anytime soon.
He will heal, but
he will eventually, but not soon. It's in between now and there. Say the Chidikano, other delegation from the party can reach out to Ken for and on behalf of the new flag bearer and for the greater good of the party to say Ken, we haven't seen your gesture much, but we say ma kona mkokonye no desi bia no party no dey are ready so china kra say wo bibia ye ma onya na say nema ebe ni wo na adwen so betima ya fatu enim e be sure sa no ya man. That's it. But for Baumia to go to make it look as if say as one day one day already there what TV as no say you ade e bon kra e mo na eno so no enchire manliness. Ozen comfort problem say as Baumia soft to do when you fighter when you say fighter na ade Animal be a say, Ubi do what them Nasa copre. Good afternoon, Honorable. You be a manager. Maybe get no cry. I mean, no million your fine view. And so to stand up. Bible, mo baby. Poor catch Timothy was say, a man will be for a branch now. We are in for. You get me? You know, he must keep his distance for self-respect's sake. But the party must do something and reach out to Ken in, more official settings to make him feel welcome. And other than that, the guilty conscience on one to mean sorry, but
I agree with what you are saying at the latter part of your statement. And I said the party structures, and I said the hierarchy in the party must approach him and speak with him. Say that we are a buffoobi on movie and a bit mad.
Do you believe, say, as a gentleman, why seasoned politician, I would name say. Woko contest na wuluswa. The honorable thing to do is concede and then call your opponent, congratulate your opponent. As seasoned person as Kennedy,
but he has considered defeat.
He hasn't called the opponent. And do you think it's really important? Unity is what builds a party.
Yeah, how much does it take?
And as opposition party, that more 2 million people are Oman Tuaba. Allegedly, say because of where he's coming from. Now, where you are coming from, you need him. He also needs you. And then at the end of the contest, everybody can attest. This is the most fairest election ever run in the NPP history.
Most transparent.
The most fairest and transparent election ever run. And then you lose this election. You are unfair to concede defeat and congratulate opponent or winner. Do you believe such a person is fair for us to say about me approaching us? You are saying, do you believe so?
I still believe that.
Okay. You are entitled to your opinion.
Yes.
Anyway, moving away from this now. Let me ask this, Gosi. I'm say Chairman Good, chairman of chairman. Do you think say he's being tactical? Do you think say he's being calculative enough? Say also for now national chairman.
Who do me?
Chairman Good, chairman of chairman. Only tell me, Dada.
Oh, minim. Mati, I declare.
Yes, I was like, really?
I mean, can we got the exclusive to Afro City? Then you record now. Because me take second, I'm pampa and near somewhere 2022, as a 23 over primaries no. Now no power. You can imagine morning radio. My first initial thought was that Kenya bad you, but me say me you know who I'm David. They can't see a bad. I think so. Crowd be vetting it out. That was my expectation. If the vetting process is anything to go by, it should be seen to be a sieving stage. Yes, CV, yes, so. Other than that, then there's no point scheduling meeting for vetting. Because what are we coming to vet?
So are you saying say the vetting should kick
him out?
No, why?
Wait.
Maybe Musa, we national regional chairman for almost 3 or so consecutive. What disqualifies him from being?
Maybe. Because he won't disqualify Japan. No near be 24 years. So what?
Because in my opinion, why you believe so?
I know, Kaze, Untimenko. Nana be so Matisse open vice chairman.
Now, because I know who is a chairman to me lawyer, and the appeal could be quite a Ashanti regional
secretary. Chairman. I see. On the cook about it. Oh, for one to me character no. Nana be character no. Matisse at Kennedy or backtrack. I may say obedi ba omiaho. You know, I will spare him. But they never my cancer about me when you because nipa be say no. I am not going to pay anything. Unto me woman for about 20 years. I
don't believe say I not going to pay any trim. But your type be your home. They believe say they are somewhere in me payana me brain.
I'm a woman. Omune
aha. Ena say minimwa.
Enye.
Sa.
Zenipano.
I think say
that's what for feel. Who's what could you watch in a minute? Quiet, Nana. Dimasa me daso timi manjwe ye. Me obi akoma kwakopam no.
Why?
Atakanadi. Ha, me ka say honorable. If you had to beto baba photo do pa de, me for now. Because ye nya e suba ni bi. Say bi nyon gwa na party ba.
But what I say? But we can give somebody a second chance.
Wait. And then the man did 2 chatters out. What I say? Sabi. Say Nana Kwakura was antia. He am 5 years my main try is over there now to anya there me you know. You know, oh, Sonia, dear, so up at the very best, dear. Then your standards must be high and you should maintain it at all times. That's what I say. We are asking, say, what exactly can they base on to? I was on to me.
Yes.
Okay. First of all, he's under investigation for fraud, blah 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 blah. I know you one case. Wait.
That is unproven.
Wait. Is it under investigation?
Innocent.
I didn't say that he's
innocent until
I have not said he's convicted.
Until you can't only say.
Can I continue?
Yeah. But I don't say a man for tea. Yeah. No maybe or how we be here no be tremoko.
Yeah.
You see innocent until proven guilty.
Agree.
Until say the trial ends. And then Untume is convicted. Yeah. You can't base on that to kick him out. Say
I agree.
You are vetting him out.
I agree. That's the only one.
That
is only one. Wait. Trump then it's in political. I mean, it's a way in a political. But you wait for it. 2. Say ye kasi ye hwe onim marketing your maybe a friend of consumer behavior. Yesua as a course. O beton ade. E se ohun omo beton no. Omo suban bi na wo hu se be si aton no.
Se no mo pa de no.
Se no mo si pa de no. Ehefa na se odisi say na se package no price net say package ni kura te say so we ni be because we beton do kana go bu no say 3 mm as one na no me kwa kono mind so ma me more na look me now you see it me ehunu the omo friend presidential material na eye obi so ka no hwehwe sa material no be at all levels of your executive structure. Other than that, you will always be fixing square pegs in round holes. Nana B is a square peg in a round hole. His tenure as organizer of the party is 0. Last a year, me in Crown class, I be confirming and said Nana B has no strategy being organizer. He could be useful in other places, but organizing there 0. You get me? Want to me could play at the regional level, use his influence and power and whatever he thinks he had to maintain his regional status as regional chairman. But it cost the party in several ways that the party cannot quantify. Ni subai, ni utterances, arrogance of power now, mo so to aba, e kan home my MPP ku fie no, won't me subai kan home. I don't know gold, chairman gold. Why is it called gold? Some don't cry, you're very good. Ono na say in maybe akokebo Nigeria, me bomb paisa in Zanka. What I say?
Well, in Zanka.
But make myself. Now, the outburst, the utterances be, and send be a original campaign platform so oka efa the opponents in retrospect. Doka fire Professor Nana Jane Opokwajimai of the NDC near the Adnunian. These are elements. This a grow. So woko yi chairman want to me as chairman. Now mo jini tumpo manoko pribia. NDC for the media form where I to NDC no will not stop playing those videos or those audios from Chairman want to me. A lot of them leaves much to be desired. So, Semanya Wacheja Kum, Cobra Japan, quickly, obey me as a flower, but they said yes, idea or Shaba Umia one about Marina, maybe he'll be useful somewhere. And me Mama Cano, and now would you woman banana, what you say, yeah. So when you will be a Naka Chairman want to me, and your friend Bisa, and your fanasa. But say will be a say a Jacomo, Nadine Bakum, be artist or Musun, and National Chairman be on my and my room to me coca crab you. So mean the baby, a jinaso, ama oma. What a man forms, no, man submitted, but Betty and Kajan said, National Chairman, dear, and so to me, King kind to me today. Yet to me, could National Chairman of a party like MPP, on to me, kind want to me today. Now, on to me, come of first person who he now and Grasseno Babigun will go my way. What kind of that would be that is
well, Mamma saw no crack. All right, me badly now was a blue baby of a fabric market. Yeah. A more money didn't come mobi. Say it looks like say chairman per se according to private life kakra no retired from politics.
Chairman who?
Oh, chairman won't to me. Because carrying who at this point now her name like a Foko, name like Wacheja Konso the contested chairman too. Now ultimately we join the original chairman no between comfortably for multiple years. Well, arguably because now no almost all one trying to say yet you are still voting with the same register.
Okay.
Until register and they are still there. Okay. Until he know them, he has been with them. Until Omo can say, you are chairman. Say Oshe Afoko, Oshe Bacheja. Right now, everybody is rooting for Bacheja because they want sanity.
Yeah.
Now, to me say we're free in a comfortable zone, which is the national chairmanship, chairman to contest this. The Wujidi say, he's tired of being political. He want to in a way of retire from active politics and stay behind. Maybe if they come
stay
to power,
behind,
stay on some board to be say when you go for the national chairman, you have to resign. And then we'll share now one day more.
Yeah.
To come out to say to come to me. So what I say, it's a 2 first punch in our boxing. Who say be I'm okay, a bit round one. First round. Do you think say they believe say they could have ended round 12 or round 10? They knew very well that this fight after this blow, you know, I can't. What I say, and I said. Want mama get money din komo bi say you right chairman them so be chairmanship no I'm say tree ni mu NDC friend say yoko ne Dominic me and kakra no I'm say you want to stay behind and retire from active politics. So anyway I'm going contest something, then I lose. Baby.
Well, that theory could stand. I don't think it's far-fetched because really I don't believe that even if he sails through the vetting process now, won't me win the national chairmanship. I don't think so. Some people try Abanama won't me man be national chairman, but we are campaigning be 100 times harder. You get my point?
Sure.
Because won't me is unrestrained. I say this. I'm going to be very much consistent on this until Ghana politics learn it. Be guided of your speeches. Don't speak extempo. Extempo is say who came near my mic no aji chube na wakasa debi. Organize your thinking on paper as much as possible. If you can write them down and read it, there's nothing wrong with reading your speech because it's a speech that is going to be documented forever, for whether good or bad. So if I were you, you're just a composition. You're coming to compose. It's better. It will be true, man. That as 3 minutes as a 4 minutes, no, or the 4 minutes in the tray.
This.
I fit. Could you to meet back on 2 years? No, she should be. What could do studio no crown or water no crown? Say you be film and the be machine. That is how composition is. So by the time the final product comes out, what the crown nothing you know, and you back go about if Missy was one them gravity, sir. But shake your body na boopa. Or beat TV on the shots here. You know who 20. That's okay. I don't think he used 3 minutes to do that. So I am urging all leaders to be guided and write their speeches down. Say, be any atre. Be any atre. Okofa chairman on to me tre no to me akan na je yakona ya chairman no chairman na ko gina ho ene social media ya obi ano ya wa wo kan obrofo perfect kwa wo do atem utwi wo kan kama kura wo do atem no wakofa chairman ya ti se me former MP na obrofo ya twada nanim no obu ni trase no adana ade ba ye no me a enya me no me ni fi kuro ba ko penen ko fo ni minti no that video no me wo ezo obi a onya ya bia asa de sende me. I'm telling you, more than 30 people send that video to me. Ebi from Bridget, I'm saying, "Me, I'm tired man. Oh, we want na ode mami." I'm crying. Any baby, Kwasi Mensah wempi. This is what I'm saying is say, microphone no. So ubu ni go mo weaknesses na. You say enye politically fit no. Na de be ye political post na. And go say ne ba. You can't quantify it. And when nipa microphone no hu no, they will choose not to vote for them at all. Me na me kontra ba me want to me. Me na me kontra ba me. Me wa want to me chairman keke na wodi. But the whole year with the chairman no de na hudwan no. Me at a point you can me say cry say me ya so flash anti regime because onunti na shanti nya backlash bia na hu hia. It is a wo fa ho na one we no to kotna fear. I think say a smart move. Ne mo say wan kompo eno transika say o de aban kra aban otisu di ye me kwa aban na se wono me say dey want to me be fam de but ne ho ento no ye enti na bia ma mentam baby o da mon kopre matese bo cha jakon ba senior man o de men kopre ne me wa ho de bia beta na chi na kwa bia so abo partner e fine. One thing is certain, want to me must recuse himself from active politics for some time. Maybe when you're 16 years going now or be more so bakakra and maybe an public expressions be or no, he will double think before he does them. Other than that, we are going to just set yourself up for another batch of ridicule. I think the MPP must learn this lesson there.
Chidi, MPP primaries is over. Baumia and Irene. What worked for Baumia? Didn't couldn't buy.
Before I touch on what word for Baumia, I just want to say something about Chairman to me as a national chairman. You see where the MPP has got into because your point Kumaka Simbi. But now their challenge is how they are going to convince Ghanaians for them to have trust in them. And if somebody wants to have trust in you, he looks at the people around you.
Show me your friends, I will know your character.
And what worked for Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo in 2016 was wound to me. how is he by the charisma not a one. Can we say does he still have that charisma? No, won't me has lost it. He lost it around time obey good, with TV so. That was then. I think even Karen Japan comment about it, say he shouldn't have done that. Because what do you and was one of it was a contributing factor. It was a contributing factor in the 2020 election. I went this for the correct campaign to meet them because oh more we are good. To meet TV so everything. At that moment in Lucy, where the MPP has gotten to know, they're on a journey of restoration of hope. They need somebody he cut across all class. When Polafoko came in 2015, he was having that. MPP has the manner. You see that in Afoko. You see that in him. Say indeed they have the men. They need somebody from the lower middle to the upper class when they see and know this is somebody at least he has certain credibility. I've seen Boache Jakwa or Sadiano or announces or person already or call for chairmanship. A lot of people were excited because of how he carries himself, how you approach you and talk to you, the kind of conversation that Obitimi engage. Do you think said why have you asked what work for you?
Boache Jakwa Mami Musa Obitimi and Mami party from polling station, constituency chairman to national. Boache Jakwa anya position be why am obi hu pen ana.
Me have not seen that. But
and don't you think say MPP will be making a mistake by virtue of say the charisma he believes Boache Jakwa can do the trick.
They are never making a mistake.
And you try and error.
No. Say combine mistake and call by and can the feed will reflect. Can the mood will let people know say they are making or any mistake. Yes, John Boyd Musu, they've passed through the ranks of the party. And also the people that he appeals to. But look at what happened prior to Olusu to Kodiano. So the party needs a fresh breath.
Chidi, the Yama make answer and say, Mami Musawo, right now, no, critical for NPP.
Yes.
They don't need an inexperienced person running the affairs. Because Obe Kaya, who run a party a different from say who run a certain a business, private business.
I get you.
You cannot be autocratic in some way.
I get you.
Baby we say do nice form.
Yes.
Baby we say bu eni guso.
Yes.
But Jakun run any political position in terms of party hierarchy.
He was a minister one time.
No, being a minister is different from friend say who hold the position in friend say political party.
Okay.
That is entirely a different question.
Continue.
And do you believe right now is the time for MPP to be experimenting? Send your work on a friend say John Bodu a general secretary prior that hold the other position before becoming, because I believe say he had won an election before he has lost an election. Now if anything we've learned you who say losing an election and coming back is really a reform, because here right Mahama Ami probably President Mahama Rene 2016 can you who say the so I believe and me unyi say e was say fa obi a wa hold the position wo party nim ete party na se than obi a from nowhere, not from nowhere say on cap party, because he has really been there from day one since the party was formed. But in terms of holding position in the party, running party affairs, no, I don't think say he has any. For us to say, oh, yeah, wait till you say, again, people are saying, say, he's somebody, maybe he can't talk when he has to talk. Because, for instance, PDS was something on his neck. He could have spoken up and then resigned. Okay.
When he was the minister.
He knew pretty much, say, PDS was something that was no good. But because of keeping his job, he kept quiet and then so that he gets his salary at the end of the month. And then do you think such a person, right now, maybe MPP Jina Wakuni, anybody can answer. Boache Jakwa is somebody, though I tell him
Yeah.
Send out the Boache Jakwa by say and I don't lose this. Do you believe Boache Jakwa to be given the nod to run the party as national chairman?
Yes, he should be given, because I believe he can do it. The first say what happened to him at Norway Energy Minister. He has good credentials in America. Or some banks in America. his performance was excellent.
Again, as I said, private life is business from running politics. I don't know. That's where Kennedy got it from.
And the Bank of New York.
That's what Kennedy got it from. Running your private business is entirely different from.
But this is a different
political
breed.
party.
This is a different breed. Unlike Kennedy, Japan, just say but the communication outside. Have you seen Boache communicating roughly outside before? Never. Do you know the reason why the NDC people like Chairman General? Chairman General is very charismatic. But you be General, and
the mom we are what to know.
Very, very well. So what the Chairman General Johnson the CDB. Sana mi busa experience in terms of running political party affairs.
His experience touches.
Can you compare the two? Say
let me help.
And then you chairman. I think say you can't compare the two. Not in terms of academics, not in terms of, but in terms of running political party.
Okay. Who is secretary of a party? What exactly do you do? There. Kenya kuntan sa no you but you go the man want to me suffer some backlash from me. It's not because I dislike him. No,
nobody dislikes him.
What I say, and it's not about say nisika now ni exposure now ni experience. Square pegs in round holes as some near king.
Because you know, but MPP do CCano. If the hierarchy no ekosware the old structure now.
Correct like example for the
worse
or mobile jump backlash.
Worse.
Now to answer you firmly, party chairman MPP. That's a thing I grab a is the and then say next cry to you want to cry or that's what you were saying. What do you expect from the chairman? I want somebody who has some leverage.
Was when Musa we fetch me. So I was say, do you believe say that mistake no mo ye no?
Yeah.
And na e ma hwe asem wa yen kan o radios. Ba hu ni pefe yen kan o but ma menka. Unu say at some point obi catch us say we NDC ni a. Who person ko hwe no ne caliber of person. Who person hwe ne credentials. What? So what I say, but in the assassin, I'm telling you, the real elite is in NDC.
Of course.
And do you believe, say, because of it will be a running party in money once I was previous chairmanship, don't you believe, say, that mistakes in MPP all over the years, and I'm running the middle class from MPP to NDC. Do you think, say, it happened in the vacuum?
So what do you think, say, I'm asking you that, what made it possible for NDC to win such class?
MPP for
it's MPP. It's because of the kind of
characters
for the wrong
of the party share Monzano. And the man MPP and this
people feel it was an insult.
Thank you. And what's about my question should be
I was coming to ask you
have the track record as running any political party.
Fine.
I'm not talking like I'm saying, say no, be a man who see body say he is a well-educated, fantastic private person.
Your question is
in terms of
it's not
political party. It's not as MPP. Baby, what they say. One in here, Obia, or too much firm or too much autocratic. In here, Obia, you can resonate with the youth.
Yes.
In here, Obia, you can resonate with the elite, with the middle class.
Well, what I say, I'll cut Chamafoko some slack, but Obia or pastor from the same party sometimes they come back with some revenge and I told you so attitude and madame so attitude be I'm no crano to me too careful crime man going to me. I'm not writing him off because I know he's a very huge influential figure in MPP. But say always saying about Chaja Kubuza say Yesha obetimi affected the mold. He is the perfect to fit the mold. He can read, he can write. Look, make out want to me the media administrative experience film. Listen, go for play especially private business no. Some you office bianca ho. Aduma na any and can traders a shop na. Table no cashier table no na important. They can na no background na ho. Cashier zo gina ho a system no so where balance no where inventory na hu niam dey aka na dey so dey kan ho. Actually 15 minutes or sorry question baby your friend office no order. Ona we are no na kakra no oko ne baby. See, I did for administration, correspondence, you just letter, you file and say, yes, or reply and say, or reply references or deba. They say, you sheniama, a speech we time I say and you began any press conference we will bit my release and you release no before press release a bar as a daily graphic utumi sa 10 actually asem no so no yes substance ni kitu heavy one and not wow this is what trouble from mo obi ati ase obi pa no so answer we are not dumps approach him mouth speech e ma won think the show san kan 10 people baby a front page there that one go grab a whole one paragraph but in some share one paragraph no o dwen ko ade abeti ase you see my point now the man this who be akono e ma krachi fo pi kura hu say na me ti me krachi se bi nyina achi no me bi sikanti ye beto ma wontua ma ye regional chairman am na guye nyina ni ase dia me tra part no ma gide yen I be for kura nyanipa
me try no tell my to me about for me so the way he carried himself very corporate
sometimes now you know such as now but you know
aye adwuma omo twema afokobo na emu twema
what I say na such as now why do no aye adwuma dadanti no obetoi obaye no administrative setup of MPP in Ashanti region has collapsed. The only person seem to be working the secretary no they also paying because a lawyer Admapia. But look, it's because they are friends. The lawyer Admapia happens to be a personal lawyer to because they want to me. It's the friendship unity and a moment to kabum. Would you meet Tenwa and Ashanti region MPP collapse across constituencies?
From 40 something
from Mina to bring to all the individual constituencies here. No money party, no problem. A good father would you mean a good father Pasinti and more for Mina say already 1-2 minute independent in India and so independent no be save MPP and MPP was in opposition in their own government. What are you talking about? Watch it about politics much kakra. He's still a human being or on the floor so no he did but okay kind of floors apart from you know you need a bit maker. Go forwarding go for to 10 months every minor that what is what we be. Or maybe we create an MPA. We didn't huni. What experience ni be or took one ni be. Onim politics. We can see a quad which are quite fundraising. Say or no engine microphone kasa as chairman. My open remarks and open address. I bet Toby Pakuma since I would be quite microphone as chairman. He's from Ashanti region. I should support for him.
That to me is bad.
No, it's not bad, but he's not cut for that particular post that happen. NPP, I'm repeating it, must begin to put square pegs into square holes or round pegs into round holes. This square peg in round holes, square peg in round holes, simply because it's popular or no katubu be abedino. So when they will continue to lose marginally to the NDC even in their own stronghold. You get my point? It's omra the amateur man kuka ni coming into regional contest now for I expectant no. It's because of how fed up most people are with Wuntumi's character. That character no. Emma uye MPP ni wa Ashanti region na kujanda that region kwa ya isema it because mumu wona Emma ni passport be chairman Wuntumi wabronye those some professor from Pombwat no mun dey na no going forward the party must find a way of taming them. Abronya has tamed himself. I think second day media he may not come back, but if anybody should rise up again and be spewing anything around, I expect Abronya to go back to his studio and then blast the person back because apart from Abronya or MPP, no media house exclusively and MPP will be able. But your media house will be as well, or be exclusively NDC. Mainstream. I want to interview Bochejaku. I want to interview from Pop Watting. I want to interview Nahunda Utamaklu. You get my point? There's no way Abronya will need to interview Nahutamaklu, Bochejaku, and his uncle for simply because of the Moki. Never. Why? Because I think Abronya the party in the channel some performance I'm a bomb. After all, Abronya and the Huakwa could be MPP Muno, associate from what? Nothing about no party. Only Kadu. Introduce nim baby or two number ada no ne po mo edin komo no he papa na aba obusa se da me no moto onye delegate meanwhile he's talking every day from one media house to another delegating a party he thinks he belongs party a man or no be minister o ne me ne ada dey di e no e dey every party nim ada yesu so ni dia na me toy me the France president dey ayepe dey be na send wanyini then yere kwa na ba kokra force ni kunu no sorry what I say so please allow with the exception of whom to me I'll be home. I think I can give them some notes. Say, Odo Munko no got lock. Omubia near, no problem. Pofoko wa we because media me be our semi kwa bia no koba, especially in politics. President Mama by President Mama by has a name koso aba. as who
yes, I say.
Yes, I cost is giving credit.
I want say
yo.
The credit due no yen farmer.
Say
enya kusi ye betre ha ya.
Minka senye.
No, yen ka say 100%.
Yo.
At least a lot of improvement aba.
Yeah, say I record. But the mo go bebre me.
Yes, you will not be good. But then you discuss it there for because bibi to say cocoa, a lot of things are diversity apa. We test and do what happened. Oh, say so we a leader. Now start to say we play favoritism. It come back to so we'll discuss that when the time comes.
Very well.
For me, I think that Chairman to me the best thing for him is an uncle for a second vice chairman and be under the shadows of the
anywhere around leadership is over.
Well, for me, I think Kwasi, allow me. Party wedding. Okay. There are some people who might feel say, though why they also already, but we still need him at a certain point. They have say Ashanti among from people to me as a man. They love him, but they want him to say sorry to certain problems where they or causing MPP. So to make bold now, so okay, me a cafe some good bad TV so I'm the bedding, me the betray. Me a cafe some buy me buy idea be a man from next city then. Echo. Me a cafe some me before be share man for be more than I Ashanti media. Party ni do me na party ni then. Enya akonobio. When people see that step now, they feel so okay, to me is learning. Why I say, Osuya dey free ni no bi. Uncle Brian interview basa enko keka intantin sem bi a chile bi le be soundbite station bi. He needs to sit down and learn. Say if you want to be a chairman at the national level, on share say if you are the second vice chairman, Osuya send you see every party as a whole at the national level.
What the hell? Are they be anywhere?
Oh, cause you go to a time Ashanti you say MPP and penny was penny ni here. Cause how come say a Krofum typical blue they lost. I think I have found Southwest they lost.
Asokwa Junction.
A
Krofum.
So our front blue squad they quite
yeah.
Some key seats be almost 8 seats.
Ejura minim so to me there.
Ejura so oje na say buy that KDC.
Okay.
Some key seats be Ashanti Yanum say yeah under your tenure they lost it you know. Where the party has gotten to, they need a fresh air, a fresh breath. The current executive also mean echo. Some can be kept. Some can be kept. But majority of them should know say it is time to exit out. I don't want Nanabi to even come near any national position. Because I'm part of the people that feel say he has done his best and he needs to go. For because or person national chairman be first and second, it will be a disaster for the MPP.
He has done his best.
He has done his best. It will find the best in a day. And see, we are no more before for a back to the man about me a winning. You see, the people are quite can see here. Usually, the boy the iron. Ambo. The time our strategy now we use on last in the bed, the time going on and your juma. And in this party no, not party, but in this country no. Obien one ma from in this 1992 dispensation, no, the Fourth Republic no. Obien one ma or the fresh candidate akwa election hiding.
They say Mahama was a fresh candidate.
Yes, I believe that
Mahama was never a fresh candidate. He was a part-time president. He was a vice president and then a part-time president.
You can say he won on sympathy.
Not a part-time president because you're checking Mensah Health. He was virtually almost out of the country all the time. Yeah,
so he was a president.
So dear friend, he wasn't.
About 2016, no,
yeah,
2020. But if he came back. At least when you repeat a candidate later, Ghanaians have sympathy. So okay, let us give him a try because the other from the new the wedding. So MPP was sticking to that tradition. Say, you for call 98 and 5. You didn't 2005. You didn't another call 8, 12, 16 FI. So why don't we give Baumia another chance? CSI and try new. Because we be a delegator or who said no after the 2024 election, baby I be about me sticker and I send a t-shirt and that's what system name. The poster that's what similar to what happened to Kufo in 2008. Kufo also had that in 2012. Baby I be Kufo because at that time they have sold their message already. What was the message? Free SHS. No, we. So back to 2016, it was easy. Now that he has won, they need to find a message. Sit down, analyze the situation here in Ghana. What message can we sell to Ghanaians? Because Mills was part of Rawlings government that lost abysmally. But he had a message in 2008 that convinced Ghanaians.
What was the message?
Single spine. Even though
he didn't campaign on single spine.
He didn't campaign on single spine.
What was the message?
Mills was more of
Asumdue. But
and I'm about health insurance.
Remember one time?
No, he didn't get it. It wasn't a message.
And the message said,
FPP, that time, health insurance was a talk of a town.
One time premium.
One time. For gallons,
water and fuel.
Yeah, so
that was his message. And I said on the guy Gabriel Chidako said, as a political party, you shouldn't sit down for your opponent to fail before you can consider yourself say you win an election.
Yeah.
Even if your opponent is performing, but at least there's a gap. Research can a gap, margin of error. Just look at the gap. Which will say, is this gap huge enough to convince millions of people to vote for me? Because now what people are saying is the exchange rate is down. But the purchasing power in the exchange rate number from fuel from by can you find the AG and the AG. They can think something around there. So okay, though this government is performing, but what can we do to solve these problems? So the problem now for the MPP, they say one, they need to solve their internal crisis. Almost they solve their leadership. Then they have and sit down and have a message for Ghanaians. Just like they have free SHS. They should come back and sit down and have a message. Say, then they call 2028.
So, do you also believe, say, the propaganda and Namtown say, what message are we going to tell Ghanaians? Most of Kennedy supporters are omuluzu this, after the primaries, So we are not supporting Kennedy. They are like message bearing a yeko kashe Ghana for.
Yes.
Do you believe any message?
It's not about where doesn't have a message. They are now sitting down and planning as to what message they are going to say, because when you know what say, for now only a senior the end countries is here. But as time goes on, what was the time? When was the time of Mahama Khan 24-hour economy? It was getting to the latter part of the end of Khan 24, and it worked. So you see that Ken people are looking for one message they will send. If they get the message, no one say no, this message is the right message. The process no one say yes, this is the right message. Don't you think so they will join the campaign and do it for Baumia? That yes, Omar Ibida, when they talk about health insurance, they did it. When they talk about free SHS, they did it. So if they are not talking about this, at least they have two credentials to speak to them. Say, yes, we can do it. The NDC, when they talk about infrastructure, they did it. They can point to RAGE. They can point to Bank of Ghana Hospital. They can point to many hospitals after you. So when Okasa obey 24-hour economy, you don't have to doubt him. Because why infrastructure, one will say yes, and I say no. So the NPP need to get the right message and hit on the ground.
Well, to add this, I will not take this away from Baumia and then the wife, Samira Baumia. I think, say, the energetic and then the enthusiastic nature of Samira Baumiano, Yehubia is Nana Claude Ajima Rawlings, the late.
No,
any whom BBC. And I think, say, Uti or more work can and then Brian Camper, they will tell you, say, the last rounds are Samira Baumia Bear Kumasino, a lot of magic and make a lot of impact. The last visit of Samira Baumia coming to Kumasi. And then do you believe or do you agree with people saying, say, a man in a Sebi, a bois, Omukrum said, Samira, any Baumia Tiananka, the world will be a beautiful and a better place. Do you take this as, say, a compliment and as it's an overreach?
It's a compliment. Okay, 2016.
Yeah.
Last hour rally. So what you say about me? I can't. How he described President John Dramani Mahama. Once about 2024, they use that against the husband. Who are you to say Samia Baumia? Papa Mubonimo, why not you should be do it? Look at Oba Ashanti in the euphoria. do si kasa obe convince amo to abema nukunu. That's how obe bia anabema bia enya on life man ko ede ope. Even though no nukunu ye na afem de, but oba no so like ma I was listening to many programs and they said that the wife was the one who did the magic for the husband. Because in nukunu people don't see hope. But when the wife comes, that's obe kasape.
Hold on there. Hold on.
Hope.
Hope. I disagree. That's a strong word to say. Baumia, we see hope in
He's
Baumia.
the only hope.
He is the only hope. In fact, I disagree on that vehemently.
But the work can meet as you hope no person use you.
Okay.
As a move so. No bad do her. No be
the corner.
Well, yeah, and yeah, my father
say your okase charismatic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obiawo.
But the whole room becomes turned down.
Right.
They there money but me who don't know what to say. But as bad is so bad.
Samaria war some zeal beer.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Me na just apart from Claudia Rollins, no.
Yeah.
I don't me who be or
my president they have to toast you.
Yeah, I think the style, no. I'm liking it.
My main family is just so. I'm not married, but I pray to God I get a wife like Samuel.
Oh, very supportive. So.
Yes. Support no question no. I'm fair.
Yes. Beauty with brains.
Yes. Ne brofo ne chi de osikasa. What you name that?
No.
We are be foster. I'm even be foster no. Or the tune zoom kakra. Sa bia. Would do but a peche kama. Oh no. And like we all are saying, the way I see, I all in her husband's career as a politician. We didn't know her when the husband was a banker and lecturer. If you said Nikunuba politician, even at the time, I Nikunu running mate. Me who running mate via Moko campaign or Gitan and Yere at Jinche Koba Giddy. Messi Yere, no more year campaign in 2000 for Rollins. Me whom is now.
It's hardly for you to see somewhere around Baumia during campaign time. Because say the one I'm offer or none I'm south. Okay, Kufa the campaign. I remember them east and I'm west.
And MPP mo so far open ma mo in their own right by virtue of whatever position they have. We did a position as a wife to the running mate and now wife to the vice president. Me who baby on your party leader. Yento no so about the constituency or regional or national level offer party no to almost every nook and cranny of the country, like the Mrs. Baumia Eye. And look, any panel from Ebinomo Kamitra, I have my job and say me, you know, I'm MPP sympathizer, but I didn't like it.
Incompetent.
And yeah,
it really pain, like
she said a lot of things. Me who the guys go nyama member no,
so they weren't expecting that from her.
No one can be one was some corner. But I said, just it wasn't palatable anyway. Kamemana Kasakraka. And look, Ukuna away campaign man. He hardly does that. Even though that incompetent in the Nabemana and Kasakra and the Jabu Jabo
wants to come back to power.
But listen, let's come back home. She has been phenomenal.
Very.
Mrs. Mahama, me who gidi on the campaign Musada. Mrs. Kufo, what is what the microphone Grazada? On the Chibi Buno. For microphone crime men no go interview. The only time I heard Mrs. Kufo speaking was when the husband won in 2000. I think they were in the house and we go interview. And guys I'm not kind and go college. Me dey bufu na ko and I don't want to be first lady. Say na go do dia man I want to be mother of the nation. I'm coming grandma me cry for mother of the nation. Oh, your first lady upo. What did I say? She was practically just a first lady. Nothing else but that's her match. The crew programs, no baby. On can wear on your microphone and try doing near the be a program be my head invite no. So no my sister is a Kufo campaign. Who be that? Man who be that? Najesan go to mention Wakobi. And where you Nanado Yere. Also ye Basen Nanado Yere so I get microphone. Choboy said the Samira no to me call a front place. Samira want to me call Droboso. Samira want between me call. No, Mrs. Akufo me who say ye be sagidi.
And this is a woman who wasn't a politician.
And Lenko and this is Gremu. Ena Uma was example no ye perfect no. Apart from Nana Kwadwajima Rollins, our ma first lady office no be institutional office. Say nyep Nana Kwad na raise Said about me raise vice president office and man by institutional office now. Na ka ceremonial office keke. Was first lady. Then ye what you know baby. Sa na vice president. Ye what you know baby. Because nka aka enye sotro ne ntoko ne runs kwakwan aka di nka onkai. Okoye a meals buy 4 years or on 5 years. Emma President Rollins. What means the no initiative came from him. Vice President, I said Deputy Regional Minister. If I saw so, anyone can. Baba Obi Ambedi in the 8 years no. Afei ebesine ye won neme bi wo a aba wo man mu a se nye wo no akoka aban ho as Vice President kan ni ho.
Because there are a lot of school children right now. No quiz, no busums. Who is the current vice president? Baumia. They will still point to Baumia.
Even President Grant, no become Nanado, no be Mahama.
Bahama in a way, they is now a household name.
Yes.
But vice,
yes,
I'm telling you. So
nobody remembers.
We bear crab 50. Nobody 40 or 45 would say. Anyway, KIA Kotoka International Airport.
Yes.
Name change to Accra International Airport. Do you think say necessary? The cost involved changing the such a monument, is it necessary? Because so we did Accra, Kotoka International Airport, Accra. Is it necessary say be Kotoka Nefrio? And then others putting political tribal twist on it. Say then it means say Sabi you free no. You are trying to sign because now I'm gonna for the only person or you need to be so and then. Do you believe say Sabruha Hawe no borrowing your word necessary say you be change you to international?
I'm gonna avoid any factor in Janka.
Why not? Yeah, justify to say that.
Oh, that's a criminal is a movie, you know. Oh, what the question is, Rollins Rollins in any president here, or Rollins Park, or Rollins Nema Bibria. I got I say University of UDS. Actually, UDS Foundation, if you Rollins personal money,
yes,
I think any idea. It didn't cry no more. And Akufo the quarter to go for and me cry me people.
Akufo even wanted to name it after
Rollins.
Rollins turn it down
himself. Now we can go back to that. So my tribal sentiment in Mami Uraho because Kotoka name na nkasa controversial. One thing is this: he instigated a coup against first Prime Minister, first President Nkrumah, and succeeded.
And then this morning I was listening to Kwasi Pratt. Also on all the coups I see were Ghana and we interview man be who was part of the coup conspiracies. Kotoka can be say onye he's part of it.
Yeah.
But onye integral.
David, can I continue?
Go ahead.
Would I mention tell me can I say he was part of the coup that ousted the first president. And then when that was when I think say no matter abana me Busi when Busi was there no some people wanted to instigate the coup and omo foil no coup na the spot no the airport no so we never ba akwa coup odi ho for but coup are preventing tintinti enema ohre ne nkwa it was no there no sabi the circumstances around the one absolve no from the first thing but there are many others who simply because Kwame Nkrumah ban mutu no they will never want to forgive him. It doesn't matter where he comes from. What I say? On the say on there or prevent no muku. No so we who and can once bechi chi kumu afifa no. Kotoka ko be kuna ka.
But
you get me.
But Mbusawo yen clear here. The question is so what a majority leader Mahama he never gave those explanation now woman.
He didn't have to.
Or say it's inclined for assassin. Inclined for the more assassin.
Allow unim. As far as I am concerned, I am not very much bothered.
For over 50 years or so in KIA.
I know.
Is it necessary?
Remember power hang go because Minia is very necessary. It's not frame. Shut up no pa. Oya you didn't come no frame. Na me be the P. Me am master wouldn't say I say I mean so studio. Asem pasa ko kantina me no. Busa kwa me say I didn't na Kotoka ku maker. Na airport no need that so. There are some my father is almost 80. There are some
he definitely saw the coup.
Well, he was about
You see,
no, 11, 12 something years. Oh no, I see the whole nation was shocked because and na aye aristocratic no omo amu will be in some no mo pass omo prototia Kwame Nkrumah ye ne you for ne guase na otema ne aje chobo ni de ye ne nim de ekobe hu ya say ne Nkrumah nye president bio it's omo problem with that. I know there are many people say what is here in starting media house beba obi bebusa okra ibi kra nye we kra fufuru beba bebusa say aden na sade we ye de two nipa so mesi abra na Kwame Nkrumah di kra that say KNUS so kra no e nkofo problem on me say me need na.
I think after we know better trigger that
say
because and the name University of Ghana because say be a University of Ghana na say University of Ghana and e pay nipa dia to na enke na Osaji man pepper
yeah
he funded it himself.
That's true.
What I say Akwafuho is asantifo koko for sikane
I think say we've been told at some point say even Kotoka being that big, was mostly built by a champion, same as KNUSC. He invested much into it even
than all the presidents before.
Yeah.
We say they were made put into no around the them. To would free Nkrumah, o jump at so be see a champion. Na
because most of them sit in a champion.
Dansuman, Patasi Estate, Kaneshi Market, a champion.
Because when the NLC government, those school, Omo took Kwame Nkrumah, if you know, Ghanaians said there will be a hope, but be saved because all our indicators started sloping.
I said, Busia knew nothing about governance. Like catching Nikeke, near Pubem
until a champion came out, Bibisha, as I said, the airport, and it's a Tibai.
So your question is answered, sir. Nana made a Musana Hame. I'm cry the national airport. Listen. And Grandfangazano, Ahoya ne a can say, I will warm watch. Wait. So Nipano and Amonis for what is wrong with Ahoya? It's genuine. What I say? Any any problem. Now, what's the reality? The humanity of the
I think so. No, two different things.
Yes.
Me warm so. And then I believe say all this why I sideline me for a long time. No. Let me finish it.
That's how deep.
Now, my mom finish. I'll
let you come in. Don't worry. Also, we are trying to get you to retract the word Ahoya now.
Because it's their land.
The reason being that Ahoya is a strong word for such issues. Say because a genuine thing to say. Well, to say okay, you need Adebia yet capital. Everybody say
yes. It is ours.
For now, we can't mention this. Say this is named after any prominent person. And a legitimate cause. They can say, okay, for my never to so. And I say, for a day, come to say, back here by. They never say, in Yakwaba in free. Or that they say, no, I don't think so. Or that they say, Wizon or winning free because they believe say Akwaba has been internationally accepted. But Wizon is from a different region.
And you know, quite Wizon much.
Really?
Yeah.
And they don't have any case to say, at that time, no more agitated said they should remove
my Twame Ahoya.
Ahoya,
no, yes, Ahoya, no, ye be a type of Rubia Hoya. Internal Hoya in Galand. Oh, what I if I am Kamunuza because I'm money you are not doing an opposite revenue. And Grafoya Hoya, any trouble Rubia Wagana, I'm not catch it.
I didn't
wait. What you say, I hear me SMC. And therefore, I hear some any traditionalism.
And some day I disagree in a way. So, because a traditional, they are no, no, in Cranford and Casano, yeah, history kakra. Historically, no, and Cranford is not led by a chief.
They all learn by the chief from here. Yes,
what I say, they learn this from the south.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes, and the Kuzan
they said culture is dynamic.
Yeah. It is since omo eluru ketiba ha omo be say a community bia is ruled by a king. They took it hook, line, and sinker and did so. And Asante especially a step up, elevate kinship to a certain level as a far and above paramountcy. So out of about 60-something paramounts, we were pledge allegiance to one to be our overall king. This is the piece a mass anti-dance, across all the country. I can say kingdom, local kingdoms, Ghana, and can afford to date could not put themselves together and form one hegemony. Enti Mashi the umfan gamanche no eti ni palace na all preman grand and kind lands no you obi so wo labadia ono dwen say onkama no ho no bi ansuma no
we are making reference to
you obi so ni na
division
wa ya ne ye localized ahoye e wo ga ho say o ka say wu jama palaces ni say obi amfa edin a edebeto sa airport no without Accra yempe gadin ra e be ntokwa ma ha 3 years ago ni mo munya din emfa ma because we di ba we empene
because the airport no no si obi
esu obi so land obeko kan na nyega ma for dia na edia I don't know for sure. Okay. So our sahoya no na ebia na say na who say there have been some attempts especially from the traditional side to extend invitation among themselves say pass to me develop ya higher maybe individual policies now we can do anymore we may have to unite and this current government is attempting subtly so you're here on gidi ebia but he's facing challenges also in his own small ways. If they could come together, not just create something like Asantes have created, but do something different, more of a united justice. Since yehuna because Buakwa is and Buakwa united pa achima Buakwa for no na say na kutukunia de ademonya samonchweju kakra oba yesoro hadi ukọ na yiri mu side one so na yiri tin baby but almost about some 12-16 parliaments under him omunyina accord no all the respect so no kasa no police will also come back and say me babe kase can you do that in Accra no so ebeye politics for ya and the between akon enkra for talk ama wom because omo ho ya anything no they can't fight anything on their own I'm telling you you get my point so as to ena okakra dia akra generic also akra dia come say we gane free dia baby ya akra land
but said there was a group said they wanted even to change the name from Accra to something else.
To something like what?
Yeah, I remember.
Individual name
the name is not Accra.
General Accra. General Accra was a beneficiary.
Yeah, I remember.
What do you mean airport to General Accra? What was General Accra's influence in Ghana politics? I don't get cry far better than General Accra.
No, I'm talking about the town name Accra.
Okay.
There was some agitation saying the name Accra is not proper.
It's not proper.
Yeah.
When I make a choice, omo no ma ho ya bi she omo ho a omo angasa ntumi overcome omo ntumi heal yourself from. Enu nti e no omo asem ba enche na ewu no. What do I say? Because what oman about 33 million, more than 20 million speak tree. Now ko bonu mo nga. Hwana beto. Tiny nyom no nya se dia na nya do. Ye ntimpo ni ato. Nti Shatawale is a gang guy or the pidgin patwa and a lot of tree now the gang kakra account. No kaso ko exclusive gang he will sink because my no mentiasi abe ne mato. Ejo no ope obi e o de ho wura politics ma o pass o che say asasante fo ya de ne mata mo ne say nya na say ado ma he be ka ho a dodo na yen kan. To the point say 20 million people speaking tree is turning Yoko Gari to Gobe. Now so problem enye obi na share da ka se me kwa kwsesan enkranfo kasa na omodua na atodin foforo eye kasa wa nkasa wa head and protector de engafo nam so mo ne nkran abrofo tra che enti no omo si abrofo se hia omo se nkran kasa omo nkran kasa o pekuru ba kwa akoso akra crech cry pass de brofo na chere na de eye gas state ana say da Accra land no ndumo yes na mamma entumi express mo self in their own native language no afi ukwa ko blame say Asante aje gaza language ni ba biafa look I don't really care who they named after. If it's Accra is all our national capital we have. So I need me in single individual beyond there. Accra can be there. The only one Accra, MPP for minimum so more different to go. Minimum say there no person mo you. Na mo see can say Rollins University crowd who could name after Mohamonipa. Na whole airport they to Accra. Why should I have a problem about it? Every one of them. And then people for nya tum kakra be ho there. We didn't come in BBN when I check.
Chidi, we are going to see. Do you have? Do you think say necessary? Say
it is necessary.
At this point, with all these years, we have to rename
for historic
to Accra International Airport
for historic sake.
And are we evading fact? Say young Chintum say by virtue of Kotoka being a Kumbe Katini Dino, and I say hide behind say we are just changing it to the original state because most people don't know it was even Accra International Airport. So over 50 years since it was named
and I said
what I say. Yeah. As politicians being politicians, do you believe that they are not being truthful in the real reason behind why they are renaming it? And do you think said send out medical was necessary say change it?
If on say you ask if you baby near ever baby. What's the time you said Abba a champion came see Buzia pencil. Buzia a champion came Rollins 1, Niman, Rollins 2, Kofo, Mills, Mahama, Akufo-Addo, and now JDM. That time no be any problem with it. But here we are seeing who say no. Sometimes your international reputation is also what very important.
Very.
Because and now I say diasporas for them embrace they coming back home no. They are coming to learn our history. And this time not just only the history of Ghana, but they want to know it in detail. It is Obidu Kotoka International Airport. No, we say na Kotoka they when this said by na ono call when no who say this is a man who was part of coup makers. It means that let's say in D2 airport, it means that Ghanaians are celebrating, they are happy that a coup leader is bearing the name, and I said in the to say international airport on need and that's a Ghana for any coup. Look at the international, how your international ABC say
US Secretary General Bahano Fayo.
By now people have started in this season India economy. So people have started paying attention to certain details. And Kwasi Mensah comedian be by Ghana is the only country on what they coup maker airport. So what are you trying to communicate to the people? When you have got to, I think it's important. If there are people are saying that it is on their land, it needs to be named after them. It is right. Because they feel say over the years, no.
No, let's save them. I don't think they have said that.
No. Even if they haven't said that, let's say it be
no.
They are not agitating for anything like that. But airport
for us to correct our history and name it and also reverse it to Accra. I mean, I was even suggesting Kwasi Community Fanto or Sayifo.
And then
why?
Because he's our first president. He's also the first black prime minister in Ghana.
Africa.
And time Abrafono so Edanimano, he renovated it.
He destroyed it. He didn't renovate anything. What are you talking?
Most of the infrastructure was built by Champion.
Yes.
Fact.
At least he had a toner for his history's sake. For history's sake.
No,
because over the years, I was having a problem with the name Kotoka. Because me and Ghana history, I asked myself, why is somebody instigate a coup? And we name our whole airport after him.
The coup was necessary. If you ask a lot of people, including Napo, he may agree with you with Kotoka.
But at the end of the day, he didn't achieve the expected aim.
We are in the process because Nkrumah didn't achieve his expected aim either.
But the reason the two isn't that same reason existing?
No, we'll come to that.
So I mean, it didn't achieve anything.
So and also the chance say, don't be in a hurry to take some people out, thinking say because at a point, the entire country, look, when 1966 coup happened, the country jubilated. 66, sorry. 24 February 1966. The country jubilated. And just have one and maybe status, no. For now, students now they are
so can you point to one thing that the NLC government did?
Can I continue? I want to chip in something. CJ, or call my mom, and you papa and a kaiwom. And I said, Bible, Nicholas Combo Judas Dean. Send Combo Hepa, no Mese, do in my Nankani in him, and I'm a boy. But the deal. And there's some account about him. I say, "Oh, because Ukubima, when you're more much we are searching, was a cotton car, no couple was so preach. We catch us say, oh, Pajan Quanipadi uncle, no Judas, because the Judas here in Nama, a Kayusun go and the uncle, Benjamin and uncle, Emedy uncle. You get my point?
I get you.
Thank you. So, at a point, when the British were leaving, I've told you that there was no fight. Nkrumah did not come to fight for independence. The only people that fought the white people are Asantes, period. Gao and Fantio, West, no, why you be no one else.
You rather even fought
But didn't make any contribution towards our independence.
Or make a contribution, but let me tell you,
there was no fight.
Let me tell you, if you want to analyze real Kwasi Nkrumah, I'm telling you, when you Kosi Prata Samana Wakam. A partial truth. A partial truth. There are some truths nobody want to tell you. Can you know? Can you believe why the British, Great Britain, will hand over a country like Ghana without a single shot? Do you think why did they give Hong Kong? Why did they give Canada? Do you? I mean, there are some partial truth that cannot be said.
They left India in 1947.
Yes.
10 years later, they left here.
Yes.
India, there was no fight.
Yes.
They go for a fight by say.
Pakistan. Mahatma Gandhi was disappointed at that time.
Of course, anybody will be disappointed. We didn't need that because all is happy.
He led us to independence, but didn't fight for independence.
He didn't fight for anything.
Where's I knew say you messed it up.
What does he? And now experiment now.
If you are being truthful, and again and your tribe and the people who fought for independence are there.
Yeah.
They said we will never allow you to colonize us.
Yeah.
So also
and they never colonize us.
But for us, or for them, they will not allow you. And truth be told, they fought more than
5 times.
Yeah.
I have document here. And they never colonized.
That is fighting. But leading to something is also credible. We can give him that. Can give him that credit. Say he led us to independence. But to fight for independence during the 6th March, we'll talk about this.
Thank you. Much. Thank you. March. I mean, yes, I'm serious. And lastly, on this, the time see what you know. The only giant, Abrofono, any amount we in India, because at the point the Queen of England was Queen of England, Scotland, blah 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 blah, India. And the Commonwealth realms,
provinces.
Now the India a kind of official titles.
Yes.
Almost establish my parliament in Beyi. I'm a finipa. I'm free India. Who had any dano for time. No matter say far about was ye nipa a call Masibijoma. Every day free Masibija. You never been kind. For about 100 years, British, the last colonialists, Beji or my way, as she share parliament. She says she is to about church regions man called photo to about called National Representative Council. They were trying to build what they have in England here in Africa. Now things say nipa ba ko ananka beneficiaries no. Yen so na yen po mu cry experimentation na we. Because a 74-year bootlickers and sycophants and nkomo de da abrofo na se and nkomo ye mu say de o be bia mu fe nya komo de akonya ne beto ahimfi boko. Kan grand in Kenya contest. But abrofuna nyini o mabba wiase acha hunu say ene na bi say no impose ema omo nyina beje problem na we say dey hyehyɛ parliament yi de e bia ye gya no mo wo a omo no o betumi ahyehyɛ ahun say ye koye ne mo no ye de oman no be ma nananom na ban no amanyofo adeso.
It was one of the smart moves that the British did. Almost friendly indirect rule. Almost India no. No, said these people are very primitive.
Yeah.
Or traditional.
And you primitive, you're traditional. Okay.
They respect their authorities, you know, more than
yeah.
So if you want to rule them, rule through their
own people.
And only they are French for no almost suffer. French for no person change.
As a governor,
it will try to be assimilation law.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, kind of history. What they said they be to know. Look, it's almost 57. 57 or not. Abroche him head of state or my move. A buying on a nation only government and a nation is the state, the thing called state. Bra, to call yourself a head of state, and you're common. Because you must be part and parcel of the state in one way or the other. Yes, I will walk to Mukeke. Or says yes saying. Any part saying I will buy and up and down, sir, I'm begging to be, and now cast on better. Simply because say you or your main. It's about they didn't want to try and impose anybody on us. Hoping say maybe as we are growing, we can use the tools of government to elevate our kinship and then bring it into national discourse. That you want to say democracy in the Quran abrofuno and experimented by 100 years no. And grumachon. See the BBI Russia style. As of 1958, the 1960 Quran, not all man is already one party state. Just 1 year after independence. Now watch me conquer party be as a woman party be and fancy. Show on one party. I said 1964. I think 1964. You get my point? It what you say Hitler or a mini version of Adolf Hitler. But Adolf Hitler didn't like anything democracy. He told us the existing financial architecture now central bank be using now and who here power must be consolidated by one man in the military. That's what Nkrumah wanted to do here in this country. So at the time that people, these same Ghanaians were able to oust him, for a lot of people, it was a liberation for the country. That's what they termed National Liberating Council. It is that time, Obe Kuti Nkrumah was treated as a hero. Yes, Yatuma Bama, Ziano, Kuku makers now made to be build money. Go be about passe or no ideology near the textbooks. And Obia bet say, to come and Nkrumah stand it all, make a do not share. It will be a sorry or Bokwame Nkrumah. Ubia sorry or Bokwame Nkrumah. Diana, Kwame Nkrumah Bundia or the Geo man, or no, do people between Abano, needing Kodaya International Airport, Chincha in Fru. I respect many people because most of me, I'm a senior man because a lawyer Kofi Bento cry say the name Kotokano they shouldn't have been there at all.
He was making reference to for history's sake.
For history's sake. I don't agree 100% with him. I think say I don't want to but some so mami. I maintain that. But so because say only two Kwame Nkrumah essential in the influence of the say Kwame Nkrumah tu nkwa dia and can do that so can be ha me cry. That's my point.
Well, now I was thinking he tackled some topic about Domahene and then his outbursts, but it looks like say
it's irrelevant.
I disagree with you.
We are not going to shut up.
Mami can't say with you. Where all government friends say institutions burn or any other region. There's not a single government how do you call it agency or ministry in any other region apart from chieftaincy in Ashanti region. Do you know why? Because of the name Otumfo. They were aware say untimin tuna say a man crime. So you couldn't have put the National House of Chief in Accra.
We have a reason why I'm saying say
maybe some
other time.
Yeah, some other time.
Because the reason why I think
this topic is not something we can do in 2 minutes. Because
no, I'm just passing a comment about it. We are we are down Yonkofogo and my Yakupon. I almost had said I can don't come.
Correct.
And also just will be not my yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't see the reason why you should pass this comment. I say I'm 1 year B.
You should say it.
No.
Okay. If you say it, I will say it. And I remember never come.
Yeah.
The man.
I think said the next Friday when we discuss.
Yes, he has written more than he can.
Yeah, we have to talk about this.
And we have to force him to stop chewing it. Yeah. And I say he will swallow it. Hook, line, and
also man by force.
Yes.
Friday. Friday, we discuss this topic about.
We have to
discuss
because they would
the money trials was how or she shared the biba. And no person ya ne asi ebufu biba manfu
na Pascal.
Na Pascal utibubi. What's the point?
Na
Pascal utibubi. Hwe yesi and discuss it. But me ade am shiri no obi a or benefiting from an institution and then against an establishment.
Yeah. Professor
by virtue of association and they elevate you to become a
court of
appeals court judge.
Yeah.
By virtue of your association,
not for any,
and that is being beneficial to you because of your association. It will be so benefiting a day by virtue of say Sante, and then you are
same and forever.
And you will be how many baby?
You see,
how many baby? One word in the home. One when you will be a human. When you're buying Juma, we just
all getting it wrong.
As well as an Okra.
What is it? No, we're getting it wrong. Wapayo. What said that? Say,
now will be castle or shed that fancy won't few.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Or because what can say, Sandy Panos won't be no dom. It didn't domino, and I was say a camano because. Also, the politics are saying that they be even no case. So, you should not reply it yourself. Let your surrogates do the reply. Now, I will say that we should all keep quiet for Hini to reply this man. No, I think they Hini has a cry.
No.
It's here a better reply. It was
politics. If you reply,
unfortunately, we don't have much time. We don't have much time. Because help for us so much break. No share. Appreciate him say Tembia moje brain. Him say data no boarding, but won't be just wash for literally 2 hours. And he appreciate say munya time na mo jebre na mo hwe da a producer Nasco as a producer at large.
If you
catch that as a Kwasi Mensah Chidi resources for nyina mbeka ho nyina no da o mase mabo DJ Nasco da obia se moma etimi di program ye baso ya me adoma Friday ye be samba ye ba ye be discuss do manhene and the matters arising proper ti damas ye bisia
that's it. All right.
It's just an
Nasco wow was so 10